What's good, YouTube? It's Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, coming to y'all with another video. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Also, check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. If you want a t-shirt, you can message me on Facebook. I got different type of logos and images. You can get any color shirt, or you can change the logo on the shirt. Just message me on Facebook if you're interested. Today we're going to talk about Lonnie Walker, a high-profile player. Everybody talking about him being the steal of the draft. You see him get a weird angle right there, gets to the basket with a floater. That's something you're going to have to continue to add to his game, more diversity and more versatility. He handles the ball well, creates the space, throws it off the backboard. That's a good move. He's going to need more of those. Here, you see him getting a backdoor cut. You can't run the play better than that. Somebody was open at a three-point line, and he actually had a lane to the basket. That's a triple threat position. Here he creates his own jump shot on a longer, slower defender, able to create the space and get a shot up over him and knocks it down. Here he creates another shot on a switch. He gets a step back a little tougher, not as much space, but he got enough to see the basket, and that's all you need if you're a good shooter. Here he gets the screen, he gets the space, stop pop on a slower defender that didn't even want to step up, so he takes advantage of it and gets an easy deuce for the San Antonio Spurs. Here, right here, this is just smart, sets the screen, his teammate basically gave up and gave Lonnie Walker the spot up three, and he took advantage of it. Right here, Lonnie Walker runs the break. They forget about him. He gets enough room, pulls up quickly, knocks that down. That's a lot of confidence to be able to take it that quick. Here again, this is just bad defense again by Washington. He gets the space late in the shot clock. You know he has to shoot it. You give him room and a good look at the basket. You can't do that to NBA players. Here, Lonnie Walker, his bread and butter in summer league was mid-range shooting and fast break. Here again, he gets a steal. I can see a lot of DeJounte Murray, a lot of fast break with him and Rudy Gay and even DeMar DeRozan, getting steals, getting deflections, and just getting out on fast break, getting easy baskets. They have more athletes. They have more speed and athleticism than other Spurs teams. So I can see this really being a good fit for him in San Antonio, getting out and running. And he was able to make the right play, whether it was filling the lane, going to the three, or even just running all the way to the basket and running back out to the three-point line to give the floor space. And he was a solid playmaker. He made the right passes. He didn't force it. Wasn't too flashy. He just got the ball, made the right pass, and that's all you want to do, and that's what Greg Popovich wants you to do. Play the game the right way. And he was able to do that in summer league, and we'll see what he's being able to do in the regular season. Just again, he gets double teamed, doesn't try to force it, doesn't try to do too much, stays under control, makes the right read. That can be LaMarcus Aldridge, that can be Paul Gasol, that can even be Rudy Gay at that small ball four, knocking down these spot up threes. When if you're not going to rotate and you're not going to respect them, they're going to take them, and that can be deadly for the Spurs. They may not be one of the best three-point shooting teams, but they are patient and they get what they want. Lonnie Walker's biggest flaw to me is his shot making. He's not as athletic. He's not as strong. He don't have enough muscle. So he does settle for a lot of tough jumpers, and he does settle for a lot of tough threes. And that's something that he's going to have to get out of if he want to get minutes in San Antonio, especially with a coach like Greg Popovich that's very serious and put winning first. These are just tough plays, and he's going to have to work on his finishing and his ability to get to the free throw line if he wants to become better than a role player and possibly an elite scorer. But getting to the free throw line is going to be something that he's really going to have to work on. You see right there, he was able to do it, but that was in the crowd. So Lonnie Walker was obviously a person with a high motor. Everybody was like, oh, Lonnie Walker is still the draft. I can't believe the Spurs, another Spurs player. The Spurs are so genius. They get another guy with high potential out of Miami. He can shoot. He can handle the ball. But at the end of the day, the Spurs do a lot of scouting. Let's just keep it real and give them the credit that's due. The Spurs have been able to make valuable picks. Tiago Splitter, Patty Mills, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, even guys like Danny Green have became even better in the system and under the tutelage of Greg Popovich. So at the end of the day, this is something that we knew. If you think about any draft, even Kawhi Leonard, it don't really matter. Any draft, they had at least one steal. And even if they wasn't what they were when they drafted them, Greg Popovich is going to have them busting their asses to get rotation minutes. And if you really want to get some good minutes and you want to play for a team that's all about winning, the Spurs is there for you. And I think this is not only a good pickup for the Spurs, but a good pickup for Lonnie Walker. Mainly because at the end of the day, they're going to get the best out of him. If he doesn't want to put in the work, if he doesn't care enough, they're just going to trade him or get rid of him. And That's the thing. If you want to be great, you want to be coached by a guy like Greg Popovich and his developmental and coaching staff, because they're going to get the best out of you. They're going to make sure you're working. They're going to make sure you focus. They're going to make sure you're prepared for each matchup and each game. And that puts you in the best position, not only for minutes, but it helps you be prepared to what you're going to go against, what you're going to see. And it makes your job a lot easier, because if you already know what's going to happen, you can just pick apart and do what you're supposed to do. And it makes you get a 14, 15, 20-point game. Now, Lonnie Walker is still raw. I'm surprised that a lot of people haven't really been saying it besides the experts. Lonnie Walker looks good, but he has a lot of things he has to pan out other than, just getting to the paint and getting to the free throw line. He has to work on consistency. I feel like his jump shot can be really inconsistent, not only because of his shot selection, is because he's not the longest guy. He's not the lankiest guy. He's not the most athletic guy, and he doesn't have a bad handle, but he doesn't have the best handles. And he struggled a little bit scoring consistently in college, and he had some struggles in summer league, but it's only going to get tougher. You're going to get starting quality centers, starting quality power forwards that you're going to be switched on. You're going against the Dwight Howards, the DeAndre Jordans, the guys that like Rudy Gobert, that even Clint Capella, that if you switch on to them, they're going to be athletic, they're going to be mobile, they're going to contest shots, and they potentially could block or make your shot a lot more tougher. Now in summer league, he was able to take advantage of a lot of the people being at lower skill levels and lower IQ levels. It's not going to be happening when you're going against teams that's going to be scouting you. They're going to take away what you're good at, and they're going to be prepared for you. Now, that's something that he's going to have to get used to, and if he's willing to put the work in, they're going to help him get to that level. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be easy. Even if you look at the starting caliber small forwards or shooting guards, they're all 6'5" or higher. Lonnie Walker 6'4", 6'5", but even like a guy like DeMar DeRozan, who is a shooting guard in the league, he's 6'7", almost 6'8". So he's going to be going against the Jimmy Butlers because he's in the West. So these shooting guards is what Denver and what Portland, they the only teams that's really competitive that has them miniature sized shooting guards. And other than that, you're going against some big players. And a lot of the shooting guards like Jimmy, like Clay, like DeMar, they're too big and more longer and way more athletic than Lonnie Walker, which means he's going to put in even more work to even just work on his handle to create more space, or work on his spot up to where he gets space off screens or off pin downs to be able to knock that shot down quickly. Now, Danny Green wasn't the best athletic player. He wasn't the best scorer, and they were still able to turn him into a solid two-way starter, aka a 3-and-D guy. And Lonnie Walker, he's going to have to be able to do that too, because when Danny Green went to San Antonio, nobody knew who he was, nobody really cared, and he was almost on his way out of the league until he bought into the system and the concept. And that's another thing that Lonnie Walker is going to have to do. You've seen the backdoor cut and some of the plays that they run to get on some open shots. He's going to have to really take advantage of those shots, because they're going to come few and far between when teams start to prepare for you. So you're going to have to be able to get that screen, get that brush screen, and you're going to have to be able to go right into your jump shot and knock down those mid-range and those spot-up threes. You're going to have to take advantage of the defense missing assignments and collapsing. And he's going to get a lot of that because they have a guy like DeMar DeRozan that can handle the ball, make the right passes, and score and pick and roll. So Lonnie Walker's going to have a lot of ability to get those spot-up jumpers and those spot-up threes. And even in transition, like I said, DeJounte Murray is an all-NBA defender. You have guys that on the perimeter and even inside. LaMarcus Aldridge is a solid rim protector. So you can get the blocks, you can get the steals, and get out there and get transition baskets. And that's one thing I liked about Lonnie Walker in Summer League. He took advantage of the fast break, whether it was rolling, going hard to the rim, whether it was just making the right pass, the lead pass is what we call it, and just giving it to the right guy, or being patient and making the right move. Because sometimes, even in the footage I showed you, he'd come up in like mid-transition. He's not running out of control. He's not trying to force the issue. He's coming up at a decent pace, making sure he's making the right decision, whether should I drive, whether should I stop and pop, or should I just make the pass. And in that case, that's smart, because that's a high basketball IQ play. You don't want to turn over the ball. You don't want to force any shots. You don't want to, make Greg Popovich mad, because, like you seen with Tony Parker, Tony Parker said, hey, Greg Popovich made me cry many a times because he was so hard. But then again, Tony Parker became a Finals MVP. Tony Parker Parker has become a champion multiple times over because he was able to take the hits, take the motivation, take the ballisticness of Greg Popovich, who can be very mean, but he got the best out of Tony Parker, and Tony Parker is a Hall of Famer because of that, because Tony Parker has been able to win games consistently and show up in the playoffs, and Greg Popovich has been able to put him in those positions and run those plays to get the best out of him, and that's going to happen for Lonnie Walker. If he wants to be great, if he wants to be one of the best players in the league, he can do it. Like I said, Tiago Spiller came in the game. He couldn't shoot free throws. He couldn't pass the ball. He didn't have good hands. Next thing you know, he was a starting caliber center on a championship team that can shoot 70% from the free throw line and can post up when they need to and make the right reads and plays. He's going to get the best out of you. He's going to make you earn every single dollar on that contract, and if you want it that much, you can become any player that you want to be. Why? It's basically like, why can't Lonnie Walker be an all-star? Why can't he be a superstar? And if you want that, you got the right team that can get it out of you. And at the end of the day, we done seen multiple players come under Greg Popovich not being able to shoot, not being able to do this, not being able to that. You can look at Richard Jefferson. You can look at Kawhi Leonard. They was known as non-shooters, inconsistent shooters, and they became great three-point shooters. The reason why Richard Jefferson was able to stay in the league longer is because he was able to be switch on defense, to switch a lot of defensive and hit that spot up three, and that's what kept him in Cleveland. That's what kept him in the league, his ability to shoot threes. But when he got traded to San Antonio, he couldn't shoot threes. And now he's been able to prolong his career because he was able to put in the work with the development staff to get that three ball going, and it prolonged his career. So I think Lonnie Walker is a guy that you look at and say, at that 14th pick, you getting at least a valuable asset. Now, he might not be a superstar. He might just be a role player. We don't really know what he's going to be. But when you look at that pick, at least you're getting some type of value for him. And that pick that he was picked at, you look at what he was able to do in Miami, and you look at what he was able to do in Summer League, and you see the potential of what he can be. So as long as he has the work ethic, as long as he wants to continue to become greater, and he wants to be great, the sky is the limit for this guy, Lonnie Walker. And he has help. Like I said, ain't like he's going to a team like Phoenix, or ain't like he's going into a team like Atlanta. He's going to a team with talent. He doesn't have to come out the gate getting 30. He don't have to come out the gate and get through in the fire. He can come out the gate and just play his role, do his job, defend his position, and then continue to develop throughout the season and throughout the years. And then when it's time for him to come up, he'll be able to take the reign. Remember, Kawhi Leonard, his first 3 seasons was okay. They wasn't, dominant offensively, this crazy superstar guy. He slowly developed every single season, continued to get better defensively, continued to get better with his jump shot, became a better spot-up three-point shooter when his rookie season, and he was able to continue to add and build it until he became that 25-point scorer and an MVP finalist and a defensive player of the year. These are things that he couldn't do coming into college. That's why he was picked so late in the draft. And these are things he was able to obtain by continuing to put in the work and continue to be getting great, but also buying into the concept and a team concept and a concept that has been able to win 50-plus games for the last 20 years. Even though they still got their streak snapped last year, winning 47 games, they still was able to make the playoffs, and they were respectable. And now they have DeMar DeRozan, and then they added Lonnie Walker and a couple other veterans. They should be able to make another run at that 50-win season, and I don't see why they won't be able to do that. And like I said, the sky is the limit for Lonnie Walker. He has everything he needs. He just needs to continue to polish up his game. He just needs to continue to work on that jump shot, especially that mid-range jumper and that spot-up three. And if he's able to just do the little simple things, making the right pass, making the right read, knocking down and taking advantage of his open shots, he can have a solid rookie year where he can be all rookie first or second team and even make the rookie and sophomore game, and then he can continue to build his game on from there because they can get the best out of his players. So I like Lonnie Walker. He was the talk of the draft. He was the steal of the draft to a lot of people. A lot of people knew that this was a good pickup, and now that he's in San Antonio and he has all-star teammates and he has a lot of veterans around him, his mindset can get expanded. The speed of him becoming a superstar can get even faster with guys that can help him out, mentor him, and then you have the coaching staff that can develop all those talents and the thing he learned. And if he continues to watch the footage, it's going to make his job even easier because then he'll know know what he can do, what he can continue to improve on, and then he just got to go out there and do it consistently in practice and do it into a regular game. And if he's able to do all that, then Lonnie Walker can easily work his way up to being one of the best players in the league. But right now, he got a lot of hype. People wanted to see him play. He played okay in summer league, and now it's time for him to continue to put in the work and build upon what he did in summer league and do it in the regular season. And if he continues to put in that work, we don't know how far he can get, but we all noticing that we all got respect for him. Now we just got to see him put in the work and get the best out of his abilities, and hopefully he has no severe injuries that can put him at a setback. And at the end of the day, if he wants to be great, if he wants to be an all-star, he went to the right team and the right organization. Let me know what you guys think about Lonnie Walker. Do you think he's going to be a bust? Do you think he's going to be a superstar? Do you think he's just going to be an all-star? Or do you think he's going to be like Danny Green, a guy that can knock down the mid-range and knock down the three, but also be an excellent defender? At the end of the day, even if he's that's good for a 14, 15 pick. So ain't like he's a guy that was the number one pick like Tim Duncan. He's a guy that a lot of people expect a lot from because he's going to the Spurs. But at the same time, him being that 18 pick for San Antonio, that's a steal for that position because at the end of the day, he can be dominant. Now, if he would have went 13, 14, or 15, he would have a little bit more pressure. But since he went 18th, a lot of people just think he's going to be a solid 3-and-D guy. I think he has a higher ceiling than that. And if you watch his college footage and you study him a little bit, you will see that he has that takeover, he has the intangibles, and he has that aggressiveness. And if he's able to put that with his skill set and continue to polish it up, he could be a potential all-star. Is that nobody's seen Tony Parker or Manu Ginobili being what they were. Nobody's seen Kawhi Leonard or Tiago Splitter being what they were. So the sky is the limit in San Antonio. Check out my other videos. Also, check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. And on top of that, check out my t-shirts. They on my Facebook page. If you want a t-shirt, you can check it out. You can get any color t-shirt, any color logo. You can change the logo on the shirt. You can change the color on the shirt, or you can change both and get the shirt you want. And I can get it made. Just message me on Facebook and I can get it sent out. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm gone. And let me know what you think about the breakdown of Lonnie Walker in the comment section below.